Over 5,000 years ago, a civilization was born in ancient Egypt which was to endure for the next 3,000 years. It was presided over by a long succession of kings known as pharaohs. The pharaohs were considered to have been born as divine beings, destined to become gods upon their death and to join Ra, the great sun god, in the sky. The first of the pharaohs is considered to be King Menes, who founded a dynasty in 3100 BC and began a period in Egyptian history which has become known as the Old Kingdom and was to last for the next 1100 years. He succeeded in uniting the upper and lower parts of Egypt into a single kingdom with a new capital, Memphis, which was located just outside of the modern city of Cairo. During this period, the first pyramids at Saqqara and Giza appeared, and many of the rituals and practices which were to last for the next 3 millennia were established. By about 2100 BC, the power of the pharaohs had declined considerably, and many parts of the country had fallen under the control of local tribal leaders with their own small kingdoms. This interval, referred to as the First Intermediate Period, was to last for about 100 years, until the turmoil was ended by a warlord from Upper Egypt, Mentuhotep II of the 11th dynasty. Mentuhotep manages to defeat the kings of Lower Egypt and reunite the country into a single kingdom again. In doing so, he ushers in a period of great wealth and prosperity, known as the Middle Kingdom. Under his rule, the capital is moved south to Thebes, near today's city of Luxor. However, 600 years later, the power of the pharaoh had once again declined, and fragmentation and political turmoil returned. During this time, known as the Second Intermediate Period, Egypt was again divided into 2 parts, until 1550 BC, when it was reunited by the pharaohs of the 16th and 17th dynasties, and so began its most prosperous and successful era, known as the New Kingdom. This is the period in which the most well-known of the Egyptian kings lived. Tutankhamun, the boy pharaoh of the 18th dynasty, followed some 50 years later by the great Ramesses II. By this time, the practice of using pyramids as royal burial sites had long gone in favour of using deep underground tombs, located just outside of Thebes, in the area which has become known as the Valley of the Kings. By 1070 BC, the grip of the pharaohs was once again diminishing as the country once again became fragmented. Although there were some brief periods of respite during the so-called Third Intermediate and Late periods, native Egyptian rule was to come to an end, as the country was dominated for long periods by Assyrian and later Persian rule until it was finally conquered and reunited in 332 BC by the leader of the Greek Empire, Alexander the Great. Under his auspices, a new capital, Alexandria, was established on the Mediterranean coast, and on his death, one of his generals, Ptolemy, became the first of a Greek line of pharaohs. The Ptolemaic dynasties were to survive for a further 300 years until the time of Queen Cleopatra, when Egypt finally became a vassal state of the Roman Empire.